Hand hit records on my demo. Did y'all boys not get the memo? I do not stay at the Intercontinental. And anything I got is not a rental.
Yo, look at this green market right here. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing shit going through the roof. Pretty much all coins in green. We have a few that have dropped down overnight. But as you can see, guys, the market is green. That means there's a lot of faith. So have a look at that market cap. Remember I'm making videos and it said 160 billion? And then it went to 165? Well, this is what 174 looks like. Green. Look at the faith in the market. Look at if you invest $100, you just made $30 just then. If you put in $10,000, you just made $1,000. Money is being made constantly every day on this market. So I'm going to walk you through what happened to me last night. I had two options. I was faced with two options, and both of them freaked me the fuck out because I had Verge in one hand, that is normally super cheap at around 75, probably even less. It's only recently spiked up to 75. It was like 40, 50, 60, goes up to 75. This was not yesterday, the day before. So I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Verge, and I'll show you what Verge looks like. Now the reason why I like Verge is obviously it's an anonymous coin. Given that we're talking about a decentralized marketplace, unmarketable coins is something of a hot topic, and it always will be. So investing in coins like this that are pretty much future-proofing yourself because it aligns itself with the philosophy of Bitcoin, which is decentralization and power to the people, essentially. So let's have a look over the last month, how this played out. So I've kept my eye on this coin. I just recently found out about it maybe 5 days ago. And this is what it normally looks like. This is what I was looking at. So normally about 50 for a coin. It spikes up. See this lull here? I was looking at it around here. This price tag here. So I had heard about it. I kept an eye on it. I saw it jump up. I'm like, okay, it might jump back down again. I was thinking, look at this. An average would say that it would drop back down, at least for a little bit. At least some people that had bought down here, saw a profit around this mark here, would have thought that some of those people that had purchased would have seen a profit and would have taken it and would have allowed a small dip. I was setting lures at 70, 75, and 60. Now, I'll tell you where I went wrong, and I'll tell you the strategy to kind of future-proof this situation in the future. There's going to be a lot of coins that you have an eye on that this happens to. You kind of feel you missed the boat, and you feel that it could drop down back to what it used to be, and you want to try and get the best possible price for yourself for the coin. Even though it is that cheap, if you can imagine what the price went up to. So it went to 80, which is like a 30% increase, and then it just pops up to 140, 142 last night. So if you imagine that here you buy, you double here, right? Or like 40%? You 40% up, right? If you purchase here. If you had purchased at 55 though, you'd like 3 times your money. Essentially nearly 3 times your money. So I hit a point at 160 last night very briefly. So the difference of buying in here opposed to buying in here is 40% opposed to maybe triple double. You know what I mean? That's the difference you're talking about between these small sums. Now, how you look at these coins is like a flashlight. The wealth of these coins is like a flashlight. So you get a flashlight, you put it close to a wall. The circumference of that flashlight is very small. The light that's being projected is very small against the wall. The closer it is to the wall, the smaller it is. The longer you hold that flashlight and you pull it back further and further away, the circumference expands. It just gets bigger, bigger, bigger. That is like your wealth. That is like getting a flashlight and putting a little shadow close to your flashlight here. The more coins you can purchase here, the bigger your impact when the price starts rising. Even a small rise like that can mean triple. So if you're talking about these two numbers here, the closer you are to zero, the more your wealth becomes as it grows larger. That's why sometimes you look at these coins and you go, fuck, maybe I missed the boat at 80. But imagine buying at 100. And that's what happened to me. So I was looking at 180. I was waiting for it to drop down. I thought for sure, looking at the average and looking at how the nature of this coin has worked in the past. I'll show you over the 3-month schedule. So it had been 36, went up, went down, stayed up, went down, went up, went down, and then obviously went down. I was thinking that these people in the lull would have panicked, would have said, like people up here with these coins would have panicked, said, I bought up here, lost, and it's been lost for a couple of days, for like 10 days now. If it goes up in price, I was hoping that some of these people would cause it to drop a bit further. I would have got a bargain. At 70, 75, I would have been laughing, to be honest with you. But obviously the greed gets to you in this marketplace. But when you see, obviously, the potential of this coin and you see what it stands for, you start to realize that in the future, this will be used. No matter what, this will have a place. So we're talking about even a year's time. If you're buying it at 64, in a year's time, if this reaches, even if it reaches 5,000, you understand that's actually not that expensive. 5,000 is still very cheap for a coin, and the likelihood of this happening is very high. So you're buying in this, and it becomes 5,000. It's a pretty safe bet, to be quite frank. It's a pretty safe bet. You can put $1,000 in here now. Wait 3 months, and I'm pretty much going to guarantee you'll be very happy with the results. Unless this coin fails, but as you can see, I don't see it failing anytime soon. If that's the case, I do believe it will definitely increase. It will reach $1,000 mark just by nature of the marketplace, because once you have an influx of coins coming into Bitcoin, they get redistributed into the alternative coins. So by the pure nature of the marketplace, if the marketplace is growing in value, the money gets redistributed. So what some smart investors do, they go, what's an undervalued coin? What's a coin that has a great philosophy and that works well with the marketplace and what Bitcoin stands for? They see a coin like Verge and they will just invest just because it's cheap. That is still relatively, well, I would say extremely cheap compared to most other coins. And the technology behind it, in terms of anonymous coins, is something desired in the marketplace at the moment. So great investment for just anybody that new people that join up are looking to invest their Bitcoin into alternative coins. By the pure nature of things, they will invest in a coin like this, pumping up prices, and especially if you get down on low here, you're in for the ride. You're just in for the ride. You can hodl as much as you want, because even if it goes up to 5,000, drops to 4,000, you're in such a green lit zone that you don't even care about dips in the marketplace anymore. You have made so much money that it doesn't matter what happens. You can ride out waves, and you can actually really see the actualization of this coin's value as the year goes on. You're in such a good place. You are safeguarded. If this reaches 1,000, you are safeguarded from any panic selling. You're also safeguarded from any influences of trying to sell this coin for another coin. You don't need to. You're safe. You can pull out at any time and make a profit. And that gives you a lot of confidence when you're trading, knowing that you have a coin like this that you got into early that is just sitting there no matter what happens, and no matter what other trades you do, even if you lose a shitload of money, you've still got a shitload of money in this coin. That kind of confidence really helps you in this marketplace. 100%. 100%. So I would say definitely a great valued coin right here. It's not even a 1 cent coin yet. Yes, 2 days ago it was 3 cents, a quarter of a cent. It was a quarter of a cent the other day. Now it's 6. It's so small, but the potential of it is so big, because you just don't know who's going to take this off. Who's going to see the potential of this coin, what it stands for, and just invest. And we've seen it happen many times again. As this market cap increases, the potential for these coins exponentially increase. So great investment in my eyes as well. So how do you safeguard yourself from what I did, which was I saw the price jump. It's an undervalued coin at 50. I knew that. But if I could get 50 and it rose back up to 80, and I knew that the value would come back to 80, I was planning on a panic sell. So someone that's sell too much, I would have picked up a lower price at 50, or what I was planning for was 70, 65, and 60. That was my 3 tier zones. So I set lures. In case it plummeted too much, I could catch it at all levels. I was winning no matter what. But what had happened is that you risk. Instead of it dipping, it just went up. Continued to go up. So even on a spike of 30% increase, it just continues on, and you get an exponential growth here. So how do you safeguard yourself when you find a new coin that you see the same potential in? Or even in this coin, in this situation, you're looking at it like, will this dip again? How do I safeguard myself from losing out on a deal? How do I also safeguard myself from missing out on cheaper prices? Because like I said, the cheaper the price, exponential, like the circumference grows as the coin grows in value. So the more coins you have, the more the spread becomes. So the cheaper you get, you'll notice just how valuable getting it at a cheaper price is, the more this goes up. At 5,000 Satoshis for a coin, and you got it at 53, it's just ridiculous how much money you can make. So it's very important. So what you want to do is try and safeguard yourself from missing out on the deal. You also want to make sure that you don't miss the boom. You also want to safeguard in case it plummets and there's a panic sell, and you want to safeguard against not getting the cheapest price as well. So this is what you do. And I'll walk you through Monaco. This is something that happened to me last night as well. This is another example. So let's look at Verge. 130 last night, it peaked at 155. I sold a few coins there as well, just to take a bit of a profit and safeguard myself in case there is a drop. As you can see, there was a drop, so you try and buy back. At a really high peak, especially when it's come from 80, goes up to 155, you know there's going to be a bit of a dip. So you want to sell and just really ride it out. How far it dips, that's the fucking game, you know? So let's have a look at this. So where are we? This is where we are. So I get in, I see the coin here. Now it does fluctuate, it gets to 72. It just never reached 70 when I had my lure there. After this happened, I realized it was going up back in price. I go, okay, it's reached 70, and I looked at the 24-hour low, and it had been like 72. I go, okay, the likelihood of that reaching 70 is pretty high, given that's like there might be if there's not enough people buying, then the people selling might get impatient and just drop prices. Happens all the time. Impatience is our best friend as a buyer. When the sellers become impatient, they settle. It's when they don't settle, then you get more people buying and seeing, and boom, 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 boom. So what you do is you see the price here, you find the medium, you go, okay, what's it setting at? You don't want to buy up here. You don't want to buy at 94. But if it's alternating, if it's going between 94, 70, 88, 77, 86, 74, what you want to do is go 80. Just find a happy medium. You then separate the total investment that you want to put in. So let's say you have $1,000. You go, fuck yeah, I want to put $1,000 into this coin. You know that you will in the future anyway. You're talking about the total sum. So not just like, oh, I'll put a little bit here and there, a little bit there. You're talking about how much money do you see totally investing in this coin. Let's say $1,000. You then put $500 in at the $800 price, at the $80 price. You put half of it in. Now look, you can do a quarter if you want to really safeguard yourself, but when you're talking about potential booms, like you're talking about a very cheap coin that has great value, that could really boom. This could have made 200 last night if it had continued. Think about that. At 80 to 200, you want to put in a fair amount of sum that if that happens, you're winning. So I would say half. I would generally put half for myself. So you put half, let's say you put $500 in. You then separate the other half into lower lures. Lower lures is pretty much looking at the 24-hour low, putting one there, then putting one, maybe 5. It's all relative to obviously the pricing, but I put it to 70, then I put one to 65, then to 60. So I just even that out. I even that spread. Sometimes you might want to put it more top heavy, so more money on the 70, a little bit more money on the 65, the most money on the 70, the second highest on the 65, and the lowest on the 60. So the 60 is like a rare occurrence that if it happens, and you scored big if it does. That's what the mentality is with lures. So, what I should have done, if I was half switched on, and I only really thought of this strategy like last night when the situation occurred, what you do is you put half on here, and I would have been very happy. If my half boomed that much, I would have been very happy. I would have forgotten about the money I didn't invest here because I was safeguarding myself. Now, this covers me. So if it does boom, my half booms as well. If it doesn't boom, then there's a plummet. And what I'm doing is I'm picking up prices very cheap, very cheap. And if it gets down to 60, well, hell, I covered myself. It's still a risk. It's still a risk because you're like, okay, I lost the value of these coins, but you're building up the value of these coins. And it will reach a minimum. It won't go past the minimum. It won't go past 50. So at a 60, you're pretty much playing it safe. So if it happens, you get good pricing and you get more coins. I believe in the coin, so I knew it was going to spike. I just thought maybe there might be a panic sell. When you cover yourself for these coins, it's not like you're saying that the coin's going to crash, the coin's going to be shit. What you're saying is people panic sell because people think short term most of the time, and there's only very few. Well, even majority of us, if we think long term, there might be a few of us that think short term and can cause a panic sell or just a dump and just buy up whatever's coming down here. So what you want to do in this strategy, for if you're looking at a rising coin, that's how I would phrase it. If you're looking at a rising coin and you miss the boat, what you want to do is invest at a medium of what it settles at, then set lures at lower prices that safeguards against a drop. If it booms, hell, you might even, if you see it start rising like to 94, 94, look, man, you can maybe take the bottom off, put it up there, and then as it goes up, put it up. If you really want to do that, or you could just forsake these coins, understand it was just a risk situation, and just forsake these coins and go invest that somewhere else into another coin. At least you got an investment in, you didn't miss the boom, you made a profit, and that's the aim of the game. If you can get even 10% profit, and you start worrying about drops and shit like that, just take the money out. You won. That's still 10% you earned. You can then wait. If you're patient with this stuff, you can get win, 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 win. You don't have to go win, loss, win, loss. You can literally invest in a coin, get 10%, pull out. You covered all your transaction fees. You've made a bit of profit, and you just pull out. You pull out of the coin. You go, okay. Or maybe you want to pull out half the coin. What I do with rises and coins is that I try and take off as it rises. So I might take off, if I've got 40,000 in this coin, put in 40,000 here, it rises, I might sell off, if it starts dwindling on a high price. So like at 125, from 80 to 125, I thought that was pretty high. So I sold 10% here, 10,000 here, for example. So if you imagine you sell 10,000 coins here, it then goes down, you're like, okay, you can either choose to buy back in, or you could wait. You could just wait it out and see if it keeps rising. But a smart investor will go, okay, it drops, you rebuy in at 102, you made a bit of coin from that as well, and then rises again. You then find a very extreme high that you realize most people will look at that high and not think it's a bargain still. They would realize it's a peak of a hike, and then it'll dwindle off. So you might want to resell 10,000 of those coins back here. And then when it drops, you rebuy in. Now, this is all optional. What you can do is just sell 10,000 here, sell 10,000 there, wait until, so you just sell 10,000, 10,000, and then you just wait till it dwindles off. Or it keeps rising, and in which case you sell another 10,000, 10,000, and by some time you're out. But you've made, you shouldn't look, even if you sold all your coins here, you still did a very good job making a profit. And that's all you should really keep an eye on here, is that you're making a profit. What you don't want is losses. And I'm going to show you a good example of that next with Monaco. So all you should be really worrying about is taking a profit. Don't worry about the extra money you could have made. That's the stupid trading, because it just fucks with your mental state and the psychology behind your trading. It makes you doubt yourself if you start worrying about what you missed out on. As long as you took profit, that's just good business. In my opinion, it's good business. Maximizing, yeah, true. But we're talking about something like safeguarding yourself from losses and just making sure you just capture that W, no matter what that W might be. So if you sell all your coins by this stage here, and then just drops down, buy it at a cheaper price. Like you can rebuy here. Even if it keeps, like you can even do the same thing in the opposite direction. Rebuy 10,000 there, rebuy 10,000 there, rebuy 10,000 there, rebuy 10,000 there. The reason why I can say that so confidently is because I still have faith in the coin that in maybe a year from now, it's going to be, even a month, honestly, like I know I say a year, that's just to be safe with my predictions, but even a month, this will be higher than this point here. You can pretty much guarantee that just by probability of what the coin stands for, the faith in the market, and the increased market cap. So in a month's time, it will definitely be higher than here. So even if I'm selling at these points here, all I'm doing then is just waiting. I'm just waiting until it reaches a premium low, and then I'm buying back in. Do you mean? Oh, sorry, I was doing that the opposite way. So if I sell all my coins up here, then you just set buy limits here. So you're setting buys. You're still selling at a profit because you bought in here. So you sell at a profit, you got real Bitcoin with a profit, and then you're looking to reinvest at lower stakes of this coin. And that means you're going to accumulate way more coins than you ever accumulated here, because you're doubling your Bitcoin worth. You're then buying back with double the Bitcoin amount at cheaper prices. And you can do that with confidence if you believe in a coin, because you know that in the future it's going to be up here somewhere, up in the top ranks. So that's a great strategy if you really want to take the guesswork out of your investments, take the guesswork out and trade smartly, and always capturing that W at the end of the day. And that's all you want. You just want a W at the end of the day. So that's one example. That's Verge. That's a great strategy for rising coins. When you're sitting there on the fence and you go, should I invest? Should I not? What should I do? It's a great strategy for on the fence investing for a rising coin like Verge. That's been happening for the last couple of days. Now I'll give you an example of the opposite, which was Monaco last night. So Monaco. So what you expect from most dips is a recovery period. So, well, see here? You got up, you got a rise, you got a huge dip, and it doesn't have to be even a lot. It's just a recovery little section when when like newbies or people that see that as a great little great catch will just invest just start investing because they know it's cheap. They know that Monaco won't be that cheap for a while. Even if it has all of this, they know that if they buy cheap and they wait, you have a lot of people that are very smart investors with a lot of time on their hands. So you know that after a huge dip like that, you're talking about a huge coin like Monaco, if you see a price like that, you just buy up. Some people just go, fuck yeah, buy. And they want to buy cheap. And even if they know that it's on a dip, the price will rise because they know that it's still a cheap price down here. Because they believe in the coin. They know that at one stage it's going to be up here again. Even if you can't see this, you can't see the rest of this chart, people with faith in a coin like Monaco will understand, or even like Neo, how Neo crashed. This is the exact same situation. They'll see that the potential is still there in the future. And if the potential is there, if you're buying at 0.0016 and then the price rises to 0.006, you've just nearly 6 times your money on a dip. That's a bargain sale. Most people see this as a bargain sale day, especially with a solid coin like Monaco, especially with a coin like that. So it's just time. All it is time. All of this is time and patience. And my strategies are going to ensure that you win because you're not going to pull a coin out until it wins. And it's going to be the most frustrating strategy you can ever implement into your trading days because it is the most torturous. When you've invested in a coin like Monaco here, and I'll show you what happened to me here. I'll show you exactly what happened to me. So you see this rise reaches 0.006, all of a sudden dip. See this dip here and then a little buyback? You can kind of expect it from the market. From my understanding of how these things would operate is that you would see a dip, it will dip down, and you'll just have people just buy it just because it's cheap and they don't know if it's going to rise again or not. So you have like a buying market here. Now what happened last night was a huge dip. That went down from 0.0039. It hit a little peak for a little while at 0.004. Now that just dropped. Just dropped down last night to a minimum of 0.0022. Now I bought in at 3. Where's my 3? 3,000. So you see this massive drop down to 3,000. I say, okay, it's dropping pretty rapidly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 3,000, put a lure for 2,500, and cover my bases. So you know it's dropping. What you want to do is realize that there's a huge potential for a little boost where you can buy in cheap. You set lures, so you buy. So I looked when I first got it in. When I first noticed the dip, I noticed a dip at 3,000. So I put half of my investment in at 3,000, and then I set a super low lure just in case it just plummets even further than that. At least I covered my loss, like in terms of my value loss from my expensive buy, to a bottom. So I bought back in at 2,500. It went even further than that at 2,200. The reason why I set 2,500 because it was a low. It was like a low thing. And it was even lower than the 24-hour low. So I was like, look, it's manageable. It is a dump. You don't know how far it's going to go. So I was expecting for this coin to plummet and just a little increase. I thought maybe 3.3, maybe 3.2. I put a buy order at 3.2. A sell order at 3.2. Just hoping for, like, in the middle of the night, a little kick. Unfortunately, now we're waiting. We've averaged out at 2.7. I bought in pretty much exactly in the middle of my purchases. So I got in at 2.5. And bought in at 3. So now I'm just waiting for it all to kind of take off from there. And I'm sure, this is the thing, you just don't know. You definitely don't know, and you can't predict things past your knowledge. But you can assume that a coin like Monaco, people are seeing this plummet. They're seeing it plummet. They also see what it used to be, and at a peak time, what the value of that coin was. And if the value comes again, you're looking at 2 times your money on a pretty safe bet. And a lot of smart investors are looking at a plummet like that and not going, oh, when is this going to happen in the next couple of weeks? When's it going to double in the next couple of weeks? Maybe 2. So I'll tell you what happens in those situations. Give me a sec. So people that have been in the marketplace for a long time realize that even during dips, in the future, there will always be a rise. You see? They've had this experience before. Same with Neo. Neo dropped down to 32. Used to be 45. People know that at one stage or another, all it is time, it will rise to the peak again. Very similar to Monaco, I bought in because I know that I just thought it was going to be quicker. I just thought it was going to be a quick little buy. It's going to be a quick buy, quick sell. I would have taken my profits. I was going to put them back into Verge. Where are they? I was going to put it back into Verge at a cheaper price. And my play didn't work out as well as I thought it would. But now I'm just waiting. But do you see, with a coin like Monaco, when a dump happens, the philosophy is this. When a dump happens like this, you buy a little bit there, and then you set lures. My problem was I underestimated how much of a dump this was going to do. I didn't expect it to go to 2.22, considering that was very close to like the bottom price before the peak. I just didn't think it. You got to feel these things out, you know. But a great strategy for when a coin is just slumping down like that is maybe I shouldn't even invest it when I saw it at 3. Maybe I should have looked at 24-hour low and just go, okay. So if I saw it at 3, for a little short period of time, I went to 2.5. I shouldn't have bought in at 3. Maybe what I should have done was just set a lure at 2.5, and then I should have set another lure at 2. Now, seeing how this went to 2.2, so I would have missed out on my second lure, but I would have guaranteed that I wouldn't have bought I wouldn't have bought more expensive than the 24-hour low at the time. That's a strategy I think I'm going to implement next time. If I start seeing a plummet happen, a huge drop, I'm just going to really wait it out and see when that bottom hits, and I'm just going to keep my eye on it. When you're in the heat of the moment, you know, these things take hours. Like, these are hour blocks, you know. That can get on your nerves. You're watching numbers go up and down, up and down. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it comes back up, and you think you've missed the low, and you think the high is about to happen again. It's a mental fuck. It does get to you a bit. That's why educated guesses are always important, and you can't regress. You can't go, you know, I missed out. You can't say that to yourself. You can't say, oh, I spent too much, because it gets in your mental, and it's just going to hinder you from future investments, because you're just going to be in your own head all the time. What you got to realize is that coins have value no matter what, because these aren't even really practically being used yet. So it's not like the company crashed. It's not like the value of the company crashed. It's purely just people's willingness to buy. So over time, people forget about the lulls. Similar to here, if you missed out on this lull before Monaco picked up, you regret it. So even if you think you paid too much money by paying up here and it drops down there, in the long run, it's just time. And that's what I'm doing now. So I've got my investment in there. I'm waiting for another peak to happen. I was hoping for a little quick exchange. I wanted to put more money into XVG, into Verge, but the play didn't happen the way I thought it would. So I'm going to talk about the winning strategy, which is take your wins, never your losses. A coin never loses value until, like in terms of like fiat currency, you don't lose money until you actually sell the coin. Unfortunately, I'm with Monaco now. Fucking Monaco. I'm with them till they rise now. How far they rise, look, I'll suss it out when I get there. But my coins, they're with them now. I'm going to have to stick with Monaco even for a month of 27. If it stays at 27 for a whole month, I'm there. I have to stay with it. I'm not taking a loss. I do not take losses. That's my philosophy. I used to take losses. I used to sell coins and try and put them into other coins that I thought were going to pump. I'm a lot more tempered with my decision making now. I realize that no matter what happens, coins recover. It's just the nature of the market. And the reason why it's the nature of the market is because you have an influx of of money coming through constantly. It is a growing market. All you need is a bit of hype around the coin. You need someone that's invested into a coin to tell a new person that then invests Bitcoin to invest, and it just comes through. You don't know when these peaks will come. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm sure Monaco will definitely pick up from this at one stage or another. It might be a month. I have to do it now. I'm not going to take a loss. That's my new philosophy. I'm going to apply it. I'm never going to take a loss on a coin again. The reason why is because these coins are going to be worth so much more in the future. You're pretty much safeguarding yourself by just holding on. These will be worth more in the future. So even if I just hold them for a year, that will be worth more than my 0.0026. Guaranteed. 100% this coin will be worth more than that. Why would I take a loss when I can take a W and I just got to wait? The only reason I would ever trade a coin is to try and get into another coin while it booms. But even then, that's just chasing your own tail. You're chasing a high, and that becomes addictive, and you make bad choices constantly. Because as soon as I sell that, I've lost that coin. I've lost the value. The money I put in for this, I lost. And I'm not going to lose money in this game. There is no point. The marketplace is too strong. There are booms all the time on all coins, and the last thing you want to do is take your money out, and then it booms. And you've lost the value because you sold your coins. So you lost the value of the coin. You've lost your Bitcoin value. And then you miss out on doubling up what you'd invested. So you lost money, you didn't double up, and all you had to do was wait. And that's the worst mistake I think you can make in this crypto game is impatience and also just having no faith in a coin in terms of the long run. If you realize that these coins are like pretty much just pure anticipation, that's all they are. This is all pure anticipation for the majority of the time right now. Because crypto is so new that these are not real indications of the company's worth or what they're capable of in the future. So what you're trying to do is go, okay, I'm just trying to get the best possible price. It's a waiting game. We know these coins aren't there yet. They're not doing shit right now for everybody, but it's a waiting game. And in the meantime, we can make some sweet money. We can actually make guaranteed money. You don't understand. This is how easy this game is. You will make guaranteed money. How much money you make? Well, fuck. That just depends on the market and what you invest in. How much money you make, that's the X factor. There is no pure value to that. What you can guarantee with smart trading is a guaranteed win. A guaranteed win. You won't lose your money that you invest because you just hold on to the coin until for some fucking reason, and look, it's happened bazillion times before, for some reason, someone just pumps it, maybe some good news breaks out about the coin, and it just pumps, and you made a W. You just had to wait, and that's all you had to do. So in this game, I would say pretty much 100% safeguarded unless you invest in a scam coin or you're just impatient and you're not willing to wait. So now I'm in a fucking limbo because there's no point me selling. The transaction fee of me selling would mean I copped a loss. I could sell my coin even though I made money from the 2,500, but I lost money because of the 3,000. To break even kind of in the middle, I'd have to pay for transaction fees. I would lose money. That would be a loss. I'm not taking any losses. The reason why I would never take a loss is because I know the value of Bitcoin in the future, and all of it compounds. All of it's going to be huge in the future. One Bitcoin will be worth 50,000 American dollars by 2020 prediction. Let's all pray for that. I would not sell even a fraction of a Bitcoin that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars just for that Bitcoin value in that Bitcoin loss here, in that transaction. I will not do it. So my philosophy is very strict. It's very it's patient trading. It's very much built on the belief of the philosophy as well. That's why I believe in Verge so much, because I believe in the philosophy. I know that anonymous coins tend to tailor itself to what this marketplace really stands for, which is the decentralization of control over the people. That means that money transfers and interactions should be kept to the individual's discretion. Look, a lot of shady shit might come from it, but look, the pendulum swings both ways. And this is what Bitcoin stands for. It literally means let the market dictate how the market should operate, instead of big companies saying it should be like this, and we're going to take all your information and do X amount with it. So when you look at a coin like Verge, you can kind of say at 54, put $1,000 in, you would have made if you put in 50 satoshis, right, $1,000, you would have about 3,000 right now. That's just fucking, and that's a pretty much, that's like in with the niche. If you realize that Bitcoin's a niche idea and philosophy, you can then start aligning yourself with coins that also fit that niche philosophy and marketplace value. So something like very similar to Verge. So anyway, that's me wrapping it up. So I taught you guys a little strategy to take on when a coin's rising and you're unsure about investing in a coin that's rising, and also a good philosophy when coins are plummeting. Coins will always rise again. Unfortunately, sometimes you get caught out and now you're in limbo land until things change. But like I said, patient waiting is the key to that. And yeah, that's pretty much my philosophy. Never take a loss on a coin, always take a W. Patience is key. When investing on a dropping coin, don't invest like I did on just the price that you see. Set a lure for the 24-hour low, maybe even lower than that. Start setting lures at lower prices so that even if you miss out, you still get a bargain, because these coins will plummet. These coins will go up again. Just because you buy here and it goes here doesn't mean you've lost value when the coin then rises to up here again. Just keep that. If you understand that mentally, then you're sweet. You kind of safeguard yourself. You realize that no matter what the percent you buy at, you're still going to get an increase, and you won't. The reason you can say that with confidence is because you're not going to pull out the coin until it does. That's the premise behind it. You do not pull a coin out until it's a W, and then when it's a W, you dictate what kind of W you want. 10%, 20%, 30%. You dictate your wins, and that's the power to you. And I'm going to do another post about how to get the right mindset when you come to your goals with Bitcoin. Because like I said, if you can safeguard yourself from any losses, well, how much do you need then to win? And I'm going to teach you all about that mind state as well. It's something that I've been developing over the past couple of months, trying to learn. And yeah, I'll make another post about that again. Peace out. Thanks, guys.